Shift a hole in the
Good morning, humans, humanoids, artificial beings of all sorts. It's just about Ireland Day. We're one day short of Ireland Day. Happy Ides of March to all who celebrate. I see that's not an official party in Washington this year, but we can try again next year. And I just wanted to open our Monday revelry by reminding everyone that you don't have to celebrate an English colonizer fucking up Ireland because behold St. Gertrude, whose feast day is March 17th. She's matron because she's a woman. I understand Catholics call everything patron because
not
they're
everything.
Like, she's a woman. She's not like, okay, so they do this thing and it goes to theology, right? Like, yes. Paul put forward this idea, and of course it's Paulianity, not Christianity. Paul put forward this idea that if a woman was holy enough, then she would spiritually become male. That's why saints are patrons, because they're spiritually holy enough and therefore they're spiritually male. Fuck. But trans
listen, okay. The penis is really important in the Catholic Church. I don't know what to tell you.
So, the Gospel of Thomas.
She's a matron of cats. Also, she just gets associated with, like, you know what? I could just read the thing. But before we get into that, how are you all, folks? How you doing? How's been your weekend? And you survived and things. Hooray!
I'm fantastic.
I bet you are.
Despite everything going on. Oh, hush.
Don't apologize for our guests. Enjoy, Lilith.
Yeah, I had, like, Friday was like the best day ever, so I'm still covering that high a bit.
That's awesome. Good for you.
Hey. Yeah. Hello, Seth. Hello, everybody. Hello, my friends.
Yeah, thank you for joining us, all of you. So wonderful to see you, folks. Yes, Gertrude is actually Basque in a mask. Basque in a mask. Damn it. I can almost speak words. It's been a rough morning, folks. And we're just getting started. My goodness. Yeah, Lil, you had a very busy weekend. You actually managed to be on more shows than me, which holy shit, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I was on your show, and then me and Seth were working on editing our new show, Candling the Chaos, which premiered on his channel. Then we premiered that. Then I was on Dr. Ben's trivia, and then me and Seth did his new show, Apostate Assembly, which was from 12 to 2 Eastern time, and then I was on Neil's the day after, and then I did Politicality, of course, on Sunday. So
a lot of talking.
I was all over the place.
You are.
I was all over the place.
It's a lot of talk. Good for you.
Right. Yeah.
Spread your wings and fly, little butterfly. Well, mermaid butterfly.
On it.
Do the things on the internet.
Spread your fins and swim through the water, mermaid. There we go. See?
There we go.
There are flying fish. There can be flying mermaids. Why not?
Or that.
Yeah.
Good morning. Hey, good morning, Chris. Good morning, Sable Eagle. Good morning, John Darwin. Oh, yes, it is a wonderful morning. Thank you for joining us. And we say hi to Seth and Secular Finalists. Meow, meow, meow. Good morning. Meow, meow, meow. I'm really glad that you brought this holiday up.
Feeling this holiday too.
Yeah, right. Perfect timing.
Yeah, because we got the cats. Like, is she holy because she cared for cats and because the cats are holy and therefore it elevated her holiness? perhaps.
I wonder.
Something like that. I'm just tickled that there actually is a cat lady saint, and her holiday is also March 17th. It's great.
That is pretty cool.
Yeah. It's like, screw that dude. So we don't know much about her early childhood. Her biography wasn't published until the early Middle Ages. She's from like the 7th century. So she's actually venerated by both the Catholics and the Eastern Orthodox churches because she made it to sainthood before their great schism. And it's such a fun bit of history, how the Catholics are like, oh, we're the one true church because yada yada. It's only after the Protestants, Martin Luther, that things started to really fracture, ignoring the big schism with the Eastern Orthodox and ignoring the fact that there were a fuck ton of little churches that all believed different things until Rome crushed them. You know, like there have always been a zillion Christianities and they can't hold it together for more than a generation.
Lower your standards. Lower your standards, everybody.
There you go. Then they might be able to make it work. Have more tolerance.
That's exactly. That's right.
Being intolerant, and then maybe you all get your ish together.
Yep.
It's we're the true Christians. Oh goodness. So she was the princess of a kingdom that doesn't exist anymore. It's called Austrasia, which was basically parts of France, Germany, modern day Belgium, and a little bit of Netherlands. Not to be confused with Austria. After the fall of Rome, there were like a fuck ton of little kingdoms all over the damn place. One of my personal favorites is Occitania, which is like part of where France is now. It's not important. It's just there's a bunch of them, and I digress. Let's see. She succeeded. No, when her father succeeded his father and moved the royal court to Neustria, her family moved. So it's messy. Her biography is messy. It's not super important though. Things really get started when her father was hosting a banquet. Why do I try to read things?
Banquet?
Words are hard, Amber. They're so hard.
I'm hungry. I'm hungry, and I could go to a banquet right now.
I go on banquet. I want some bread on my banquet.
I want some bacon.
I know. So she was 10 years old, and the king was like, will you marry the son of the Duke of the Austrasians for the sake of his worldly ambition and our mutual alliance? And she threw things at him.
Love her.
10 years old?
Love her for that.
Yeah.
10-year-old. Let's get married at fucking 10 years old. So TLDR, they tried to force her into a marriage and she went, nope, and peace outed to a fucking convent. She's like, you can't go against the church, bitches. I've got holy orders now. So, which is, of course, one of the reasons that the church got so many willing, nuns and things, because it was like the only way out of the patriarchy to go live with other women. And
I would tell people that it was a draw to women. It was actually like at one point in time, it was almost like safety. Keep the men off you.
Exactly. Like you've got dukes and kings and shit trying to get you laid as a 10-year-old, and you're like, no,
you're not even safe as a 10.
No.
No.
And it's been a consistent thing throughout all of Christian history. It's so wild. Like even today, there's the last time I checked, it was 35 states in the US still allow child marriage, and they refuse to ban it on the grounds that it would effectively constitute religious discrimination. But it's only the most fundamentalist Christians who want to do that.
Right.
You got to protect the children to keep them safe for the white Christian men.
Right.
Yeah.
Put it together.
Their Christian values matter more than the kids' autonomy.
Oh my goodness. My fucking goodness. So modern stuff. One of my friends was making a post this morning about how there's so many underage girls who are testing positive for pregnancy in ICE detention, meaning they were raped by the guards. They were raped by ICE agents. All
Yes,
of
I
them.
saw that.
All of the underage girls have been raped by ICE agents, and
Holy shit.
many of them are pregnant. And so to
Mhm.
better care for them, they're transferring them to a
Texas.
protective facility. The facility is in Texas because it's not to protect
Yeah.
the girls. It's to protect the pregnancies.
Mm-hmm.
Send them somewhere where they specifically
No,
cannot get an abortion, even if there's medical necessity.
no, it's not to protect the pregnancies. It is to punish them for being here. That's what it is.
Oh, and
It's
also
to
keep in
turn them
mind, guys,
babies into fodder.
these are probably people of color, and if we're doing the white
Oh, yeah.
supremacy thing, you can't do the mixed racing because it lessens the gene pool bullshit that they believe. So there's a whole bunch of different reasons that they've been doing. They've been letting people out,
Remember,
like people out on the
Hispanics
cold.
are legally white.
What? I'm sorry, what?
Hispanic people are legally white.
Yeah, I know, but they don't. But you understand that nuance, Ever. Think about who we're talking
I understand nuance, but the red hats do not. This is the United States. We don't know what that word means.
That's true. Yeah. Thank you for establishing the nuance in case some MAGA weirdo wanders into the stream, which I like. It'd be really great because that means, like, if they wandered into the stream, I'm like, I hope you learned something. And you learn to be less of a butthead.
Sable Evil says, I thought it was in Texas to protect the anonymity of the predators who pay $100,000 a time to spend weekends there. Excuse me. I mean, I do believe this is all part of the whole ring that's going on.
Well, heaven forbid we do anything about the ICE agents who are raping the underage girls. No. We can't. I mean, it's not that the facility has like an all-woman staff, or the facility has better hospital care for prenatal. No, that's not the reason. They don't give a fuck. Women, to them, especially underage women, are incubators to them, and they're just open about it.
Yeah, I'm really afraid for what's going to happen to the babies. They're just going to disappear. It's my fear. Good morning, Rainbow Ash. Good to see you, my dear. Long time no see. Well, we need a saint to come.
All right.
I don't know, unlock these chains or something.
Something like
come
that.
back and help us, please.
I know we need to
we need a patron saint of asshole smiting.
Oh,
see,
yes, you. How amazing would that be?
Right? Like if you're going to get sealing power, right? Because usually if you are going to say you establish some kind of supernatural power or establish like a big like change for the church, or you're a martyr. But also because of that you become like close to like an angel, so that means like you kind of become OP. So the way I'm looking at it, if you're going to get that power surge and you're going to redo your character sheet anyway, you might as well put the smiting on it. Like that's the way I'm looking at it.
We need
spin on it. Why not?
There needs to be a lot
why
of
don't we have that?
around.
Like, why do we have a patron saint of soccer, which exists? So,
because there's saints of every fucking thing.
Yep.
Yeah, there's saints for the somebody to help you find something if it's lost. I mean, you name it, there's a patron saint for it.
Yeah.
So, like, where's the badassery
there's
at?
patron saints you're supposed to dig upside down outside your house, depending on what you want.
Oh, for realsies?
Which is magic, yeah. If you want to sell your house quicker, you are supposed to bury. I think it's Saint
Francis,
yes, upside down. And if you want
like the little icon,
and then there's another one that if you want to like protect your baby, and there's another one to bring like good fortune and like money to you and stuff like that, depending on like which guy you're which Catholic was a
heard that one,
long
yeah.
time ago. I don't remember all this, but it's weird traditions I remember in my church. So
To me, it's really just the rearranging of the pantheon of gods, just kind of like, bringing them down to more of like a human level, but still keeping that attribute.
Well, it was baked into the system, like, because they were trying to convert the pagans, and pagans had multiple deities, and it's really hard to get people that really, really believe in something for like, a couple centuries maybe to change their belief system. It's really hard unless like you say, with this tree they worship in honor to this god, we're going to have them worship this tree in honor to the saint. It just slap it in. It's a spirit Halloween, guys. Like now it's open for business. Patching things. It's patching things on that storefront, to sell it.
Yeah.
And then within a couple it takes 2 generations for once the cultural full shift of the society has moved over for them to move for the culture to change to the predominant culture of that takes over. So.
I don't know about the canonization of a kid as a saint, but that's pretty cool. I haven't heard of that.
Yeah, he got canonized. Yeah, I'm not sure if it's saved the internet, but maybe.
What?
Yeah, like there was a someone who was born after 2000 got sainthood not too long ago.
I mean, it's
like,
bound to happen. But
commission
2000. So when the hell did they die? Because you have to be dead to be a saint, right? Because you need like those post-mortem miracles to confirm your sainthood or whatever.
Yeah. Like Mother Teresa was considered for sainthood before she died. Like she was like everybody was kind of like, and it was like the down low was that when she died she was going to become a saint, but then they haven't canonized the saint in a really, really long time, and the standards are high. Like performing miracles after you die. So it took a little bit for them to like rearrange things within Catholic law to canonize Saint Teresa. So
yeah, a lot of saints who got canonized in the 20th century were from like the 1700s and shit.
Yeah.
It took so long to confirm miracles, which is to say you needed everyone involved to be long dead. So you could just be like, yeah, we found this historical thing about a miracle that supposedly happened.
Right. Exactly.
Look at this. Sapient cephalopod said we had trouble selling our
Saint
house
Joseph,
decades ago. We buried a Saint Joseph statue upside down in the yard per a wife's friend. It sold the next day.
I think St. Francis was this is for pet protection.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, that's what it is. I'll say, I knew it would come back. My saint when I was when you get your confirmation when you're when you decide that you're at like 14, 15 years old, guys, that's when you commit your life to the Catholic Church. Great time for you to make life decisions is when you're 14.
I mean, you're already married by then, so why not?
I know.
Oh,
so but when you make your confirmation, you get to pick the name of your saint. So my official in the Catholic records, guys, is Joan Elizabeth, because I named our we went to St. Elizabeth Seton's church, but I named Joan for Joan of Arc because I thought she was badass. So
what?
Yeah, she was badass. So I don't regret that decision.
Fuck yeah. Yeah, just because a person happened to have been Christian in a world where they were led to believe that you could only be Christian, there was no other option, you really shouldn't hold it against her.
Right.
It's wild.
It's very hard. Like, do not apply a 21st century mindset to like 16th century people. I
just appreciate badassery when I see it.
For realsies. And on that note, I did find a saint of vengeance, Saint Olga of Kiev.
Yeah. Oh,
Kiev.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So apparently, her husband, she did have a husband whom she loved, who was a nice and kind man, but he was killed in 945 CE by the Drevlians, a tribe in the area, who then proposed marriage to her. They killed her husband so they could marry her. So she tricked them by having their ambassadors come to do the formal proposal and whatever, and then locked the nobleman in a bathhouse and burned it down and buried the ambassadors alive at a drunken funeral feast. Then she used fire. So she killed the nobleman in a burning bathhouse fire, buried the ambassadors alive, and then she used fire-carrying birds to burn their city to the ground. She killed them all.
She went. What's that? Targaryen. She went Daenerys Targaryen on him or something like that.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much she. Yeah,
sounds like me.
She went like kind of carrying, like
wandered over to Constantinople because
switch.
In the 10th century they needed her violence to survive.
To be fair, yes.
And so they venerated her as a saint equal to the apostles. They were like, oh yeah, this was before she converted, but now they're like, yeah, she's right up there with like Peter and Paul, and well, probably even better than Paul since he never fucking met Jesus. But like right up there, you know. So she was one of the people who got to be a saint in her own lifetime. Yeah.
Like, why is Paul a saint? Like, I know he's Saint Paul, and I've known that since I was little hell, and I was Catholic. But it's one of those things. It's like I'm like, unless he's saint of the incels, I don't understand.
The rules were different back in the day. Yeah. Pretty much anybody who claimed to have seen, spoken to Jesus, whatever, just got blanket sainthood. You are a sainted person for speaking to Jesus, and apparently that actually counts as his miracle, is seeing the risen Christ, or not seeing because struck blind. But never mind that. But that's his big miracle, and that's why he got to tell everybody what to do. It's a whole thing.
Let me see. Hold on, I'm nosy now.
Yeah,
because now I'm answering my own question. So I'll be back. Anyway,
Googles are free. It's an adventure. It's a whole thing. But
yeah, no, it's the Wikipedia rabbit hole, everybody. Like, you just fall down weird rabbit holes.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I'm not a fan of, I don't know. I'm like really neutral about Paul, and I still am not sure that I consider the history that we have of him and the Christology that we have is like all that accurate. I would love to learn more. I'm trying to learn more, but there's so much to absorb. I mean, but really without his letters, if his letters came at the time that they allege, if it weren't for his letters, then I suppose Christianity may not exist.
Yeah.
Deep
and
down
not
they
all
know
of them
that.
are legitimate.
Because it'd be more fractured. It'd be more open.
Yeah.
There might even be this broader acceptance idea of every version of Christianity is true to some people in some way. It's hard to say because Paul didn't found any churches. He just ran around telling the churches what they should do. Like, no.
Well, the churches didn't exist at the time. There was no such thing as a church back then. So
there was no centralized church, but he, every one of his letters went to a group of worshipers who worshiped together
just
in a
not
group
church.
In a place. It was a church.
When we say church, it almost like injects the history, like a retro history into a time that doesn't exist. That's the only reason why I say that. Because, Christians want to say like, oh, we existed. You didn't. You really didn't exist at this time. Or at least not in the way that you say you did, the way you did.
The way early Christians, the way people worship now would look completely different depending on which denomination you go to. Like, for some reason, Catholics are not considered Christians, even though if you believe in the resurrected Christ, you're a Christian. But they try to ostracize the Catholics because the Catholics listen to Rome, which is like a political structure. but also the Pope talks to God. Like God's supposed to be like, the Pope's supposed to be like God's best bud. So, you want to hear something funny? So, the Pope's brother lives in my city. Like lives in my mom. Well, I was on the phone with my mom,
right,
and my
we
mom
have an American Pope now.
And she's like, "Hey, is it cool that it's kind of cool living next to your, like, cool, neat that you kind of live near the Pope's brother?" And I'm like, I don't know who that is. One, and two, don't care, Mom. I'm like, it's just some dude.
Why don't you care, Helen?
I don't know.
This is important.
My mom's 93. Like, I'm just gonna let her have it.
Take him hostage and make the Pope like open up the vaults or something. I
want to the Vatican vaults.
It could work.
I want to know
probably
about all the gold that we're keeping under, the Vatican.
And the gold, they've got manuscripts from the first fucking century. Think of the scholarship.
I know. It'd be so cool. It's kind of like the Vatican to me, like the libraries and everything is kind of like the Library of Alexandria, but but exists. Like it's like we have all this knowledge we could get, like you could just distribute to everybody, but it's like gatekeeping.
Well, that was the original point of the library system. So first of all, Alexandria, there were multiple Alexandrias, and there was a library of Alexandria in every fucking one of them. And one of the rules of the cities of Alexandria is if you came into town with anything written down, you had to stop at the library so they could make copies of it. And then once they had a copy, they'd distribute copies to the other libraries in case anything happened to any one of the libraries. In theory, it didn't actually operate very well that way. Yeah. But that was
I heard. No, I'm not saying this is true. But I heard that and this could just be, just a game of telephone, but like, if you went to, like, let's say you came from and you had, anything written, that they would take the original copy, make you a copy and give it back to you. I don't know if that is true or not, or it may have happened in an incident. So it just depends on who you're talking to. Again, telephone, history telephone, everybody.
Yeah.
It's true. I've heard the same thing, but it's only at the level of I've heard. So don't know.
I could look it up. Do I want to?
The librarians are coming for your books.
I'll think about it later. And we were talking about St. Gertrude and her cat. I want to know why she is the patron saint of cats, because we never found out.
Oh, because like, okay, so let me skip ahead here. I'll put her back up on screen because,
Sorry, I figured I would steer us back.
Was she a great
see.
I like her. I'm going to hang with her. I would hang out with her.
Christianity, it says, was not widespread in Gertrude's place and time. It was only the development of cities and the initiative of bishops that led to the vast movement of evangelism and a flowering of monasteries in the 7th and 8th centuries. So Gertrude's biography describes how Bishop Emont came to Itta's house, whatever that means, preaching the word of God. At the Lord's bidding, he asked whether she would build a monastery for herself and Christ's handmaid Gertrude. So Itta founded Neville's, a double monastery, one for men and the other for women. However, after they entered the religious life, Gertrude and her mother suffered no small opposition from the royal family. During this period, trials for the family are mentioned involving a usurper and like mini civil wars, like not full-on wars, but like the royals sniping each other and shit. So yeah, they moved to the monastery. There's already some precedent from other kingdoms and churches, but even though it's the 7th century, the church is still cementing their hold on things. But also nobody really knows how to be civilized because they've just lived through hundreds of years of barbarism. This is also the start of the Dark Ages. The empire fell a couple hundred years ago, and everybody's been on their own, and so much knowledge has been lost. So they're building cities, they're building monasteries, and everything's getting infested with rats. And rats eat your food, they bring the plagues and bad things. Nobody likes the rats. Well, Gertrude, being not stupid, when we could just get cats about it. And people were like, why would we get cats? Those are demonic animals, because people are very stupid, aggressively so. But Gertrude introduced cats to the monastery since it was her mother's monastery, and they very quickly cleaned up the rodents and other vermin, and suddenly the monastery was a holy place that was untroubled by pests and had lots of purring fur balls around to pet, which is also very nice. And so Gertrude's miracle started to spread to the nearby cities, and as more and more places got cats, not only did less of their food get eaten by rodents, but disease incidence dropped significantly. So yeah, miracle.
Wow, it's almost like nature was doing nature stuff. Like cats be doing cat
No, it was magic doing magic stuff.
They are magic. I mean, like I, as a cat owner, they are magic. Like they've somehow convinced me to scoop their poop up and feed them and give them resources for cuddles.
Yeah, they're smart.
Psychological trickery. I'm telling you.
Dogs think we're gods. Cats know they're gods, so
yeah, they remembered they were worshipped in ancient Egypt's gods, and they have not forgotten.
They won't let us forget.
Nope, they won't. No, I am such a good food slave.
That's a good question. Who domesticated who?
For real.
It's one of those things because it like it's kind of like we had a symbiotic relationship, like because once they started encountering human beings, and then we saw they were really cute, and then they started making vocalizations in the same register that we register human cries. We were like, oh, we got to take care of it now. And then that's how you have each manuscripts with like little paw prints, because they were hanging around, getting into crap. But like over time, because they did, keep them, they kept their, the food stores, down low, and then that kind of happened because like cats, like you cannot domesticate a cat. Like you can, like it loves you and it likes your house and everything, but like they're choosing that relationship. you can't, unless you're a really good cat trainer. You can coax them into doing things.
Yes,
You
all
can
healthy
persuade
kitties even
a cat.
outcast.
You can persuade a cat like you can persuade a human. You can
Yes.
offer presents and say, I will give you warmth and love and so forth, but they still have to opt in,
Yes. Yeah.
They're
So
divine
her
creatures.
actual miracles were more traditional. It wasn't about the introduction of cats and things. The miracles she's formally credited with are, of course, visions. One was that a holy nimbus came down upon the monastery and blessed the growing city of Nivelles, and yay, joy to the world. The other one was she had a vision about an Irish sailor caught in a storm, and there was a sea monster. And in her vision, she willed holiness upon the ocean and chased the sea monster away, and the storm ended, and then the Irish sailor was safe. And then, like, within a week or something, remember, this is where Belgium and the Netherlands is now. Within a week, a ship came in from Ireland, and they reported there'd been a really bad storm, and then suddenly it stopped. And so they were like, holy shit, she must have done that with her dream. So she's the patron saint of travelers, too. One of the patron saint of travelers, because there's a lot of them, including St. Nicholas, interestingly enough.
Will they get me discount tickets on a flight, do you think?
Reduced airfare.
Yeah, where's the patron saint of airfare?
Oh my goodness.
Saint JetBlue.
Oh man.
Saint JT.
Yeah. I love it.
JB.
That's perfect. So if they're going to charge me for my bags and stuff, they're going to charge me separately for everything I do. You want to use the restroom? Oh, you got to pay extra for that.
So
we're not allowed to use the restroom.
So when I went to go see Ben, okay, and when I was in El Paso, I bought a bottle of hot sauce, okay, and I usually carry a backpack with me, and I have like smaller bottles, I haven't I haven't had anything larger than 4 ounces in my backpack in a really long time. So I had a carry-on. I get to Austin's airport to fly home after back cruise and go through security, and they're like, "Oh, if you want this bottle of hot sauce, it's going to be $38 to pack it because you're going to have to check your bag."
Holy shit.
And because it was a brand that I couldn't get here because I was bringing it home to the husband for $4 bottle of hot sauce. And I'm like, and it's sealed. I'm like, what do you think I'm going to do?
Right.
Like it's hot sauce. I'm like, do you?
I guess
I'm
it's
like,
a carrier.
this
I
is
don't
what
know.
my this is where my money's going. And I just kind of lost my brain.
Dang, that sucks.
Of course it's a scam. Of course. I mean, the whole yay capitalism, you know?
Yeah.
Oh.
They'll nickel and dime you every way they can.
Like there's this new there was this company that you know how like when you buy college textbooks you can do buybacks, and then like and then as long as the data stays current, you know, there's other than just a new yearly revision, as long as the information stays the same, like they usually just let you get the you know you just get it from somebody else, right? Okay. Well, now this company wants to create this glue that will it's fall apart faster, so it ruins the incentive for buybacks.
Oh snap!
And you know how expensive college textbooks are.
Yeah,
because even if you buy the digital, you're still at like I think like a $120 textbook cost me like $100 if I got the digital version. Like you know.
And then I also hated where because when I was in college, there were some that had where you had no choice but to buy the online one because you have the like homework program to like submit all your homework and shit.
Yeah, I did that I took a few of my classes online. So and so when I did remote schooling, so like my book I would download, you know, if I had to.
Yeah.
You know, because that wasn't, you know, if I could get a physical copy that was cheaper, like if I went on like one of the used books websites and they had the book, I would just get it because it was usually cheaper than the digital, but other times I would just buy it, you know. But it gets it gets really expensive. Like like I could have gone through all my psychology classes with only doing slides. Like I didn't, like I got the books and it was always the slides and I was like, I know this, boom. You know, because it was just something that I had such a strong interest in, so it was easy. But like but certain things like math, I really needed the book.
Needed like physical copy in your hand.
Yeah,
I feel
and
that.
I have a hard time parsing out word problems, like the way that I process information, and what makes it, which is because I'm trying, because like, okay, this is the way my brain works. Like you're trying to figure out where like train A and train B, you know, how fast they're going and how, you know, from, you know, how long is it going to take them to get to point C, right? Okay. My brain goes, well, why are they going there? and then I'm like, well, are there any stops? You know, and I'm asking myself, like, who's on the train? Does it have like cargo? Because like then I'm thinking like if they're hauling coal, that's gonna be heavier than hauling people. And that's the rabbit hole. If you just give me the equation, like I'll just do the equation sometimes. But if it's like if you wrap it in a narrative, my analytical brain kicks in. That's why like English, like reading comprehension and psychology and history are easier for me to understand because I can analyze it from a different part of my brain. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. So yeah, like am I the only one that thinks like that? I'm just curious.
I struggle sometimes with simplification. I overcomplicate everything because I just think about everything. Thank you, Bill Castle. Just wanted to say thank you for the $2 super sticker. That was very sweet of you.
Yay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Analytical brain.
That was on Damn Channel? Probably.
Yes. Yes, it was. Nice, very nice. I like that. Perfect
So
usage.
Woo.
I know,
Buzz.
Lil, do you have a cat or you just have dogs?
No, I have 3 dogs.
You have 3 dogs. Okay.
Mhm.
Amber, do you or your mates have any pets?
I have 1 dog.
yeah. We've got 2 dogs and 3 cats presently, which is it's wild.
lot.
I grew up on a farm, and so like aside from the years I was homeless, this is the fewest animals I've ever had in my life.
This is the most we're at. Well, but plus the snake, we're at 5. So we have 4 cats and a snake. So, I
Big
like dogs. I do. But I like to visit dogs. I don't like. To me, it's like having a toddler.
So I woke up this morning and it's like below freezing here, which is weird because it was 77 yesterday. All 3 of them are piled up right here. And they're all passed out, but they're all piled up right here.
For warmth?
Yeah, they do not like the cold very much. It drops below 50 and they're all snuggling up with each other.
It's a little warmer today, but it's very hazy outside, misty. Don't know what's going on.
I love misty mornings because first of all, you can do such cool photography. I know everything is photography, but like everything looks spooky too because there's a tree and then there's like shadows that are vaguely tree shaped behind it, and then there's even more vague shadows that are probably more trees, but you don't know for sure.
Sorry, my phone's going off. Let me.
Rude.
I know. I'm sorry. I'm popular.
I
did. Okay, Joe's going to be on my show tonight because I asked because I was like, did we book for today? And he goes, you said tomorrow what we could do tonight. I'm like, let's do today because tomorrow night I have Jim Barrows on my show. So Joe's going to be on my show tonight, and then I was texting him, what did he want to talk about? So that's my fault.
That's good.
I'm lifetime planning, guys.
I know, live broadcasting and things. I kind of have a similar thing. I have a bonus show planned. So normally I don't pay any attention to the little bullshit bad faith transphobes out there. But there's this one dude who went after AJ and I together when we were on a show. And yeah, and he's like I don't even want to get. Anyway, I thought while I cannot do a serious review of this imbecile's ridiculous.
Oh my God, I need to see this now.
I could do the lull. So there's a thing in the works to point and laugh at the Jackass show. And that may be tonight, it may be tomorrow, but yeah.
Good for you. Win. Sometimes you have to do that, man. Sometimes you have to just like fire back.
Well, I figure it's worth a try because I've been putting so much effort into getting the main show like really dialed in so it fucking works as a show, but as a consequence, I've lost a lot of the fucking around, hanging out stuff that I really enjoy doing. So now I'm doing that in bonus shows. And this seems like a prime opportunity for that. And if it doesn't work at all, it's a bonus show and it can just go away. It won't matter.
I'm trying to get because I'm actually feeling better. So I have like a few shows scheduled this week because I wanted to get some shows in with people during the day because I go back to work next week, supposedly. We'll find out.
Oh wow!
I'm because I'm still having a hard time. I'm doing better at sitting up for long periods of time, but also I have a bed like right here, or I'm right there. If I'm out on my living room, I'm on a recliner, So I have options of how I want to sit, But I'm able to sit up longer. But I don't know if I'll be able to sit up for 10 hours a day because I have to drive to work for 8 hours. And then drive home, and my office is 36 miles each way. So,
yeah,
so it's a lot.
That's hard, especially when you're in pain to have to be sat in the car.
Yeah, so I go back to the doctor Thursday morning. So I'm just gonna be like, hey, maybe we can do a gradual, like maybe I can work from home. That'll be fun. So, but it would actually, as Ember knows, I've had issues with my work. So I'm just gonna be, it's the thing. But I'm taking this as a learning opportunity, everybody, that since I'm looking for what ideally like a good job that aligns with my values, and because I do have steady employment now, I have the freedom to do that. So I'm kind of looking at, like, because I know I'm not going to stay there. But right now, still need a jobby job. So, I'm just going to slowly transition over, because right now I can make decisions like that. So
Good for you. I'm glad things are okay.
and yeah, so and I'm just waiting for the rest of my bills to get here so I can submit everything to the insurance company and be like, I am not paying one red cent. So that's update everybody on what's going on in my life since I had surgery. So yeah.
Lots going on.
Yeah. So, but I went to the Indian Festival for Pie Day. That was really fun on Saturday. My husband was around.
Excuse me, what kind of pie?
No, I did not have pie on Pie Day. I had Indian food. Which was amazing.
What the hell, Helen? You rule breaker.
I know.
I did have a good pie day. It was Kip's birthday.
It was Kip's birthday.
Yeah, my dog, by the way, my dog's birthday.
Oh, your dog too, yeah. So
yeah. It was Kip's birthday. Yeah, the joke is she's because Pie deals with circles and stuff and all that. The joke is she's my black hole because she's big, she's black, and she eats everything. She's a black hole.
She has the gravities. So Steve wanted to know what the topic is. Cat Lady, St. Gertrude for Holy Day is March 17th. So yeah. Screw the English colonizing bastard who tormented the Irish and now gets worshipped as like the patron of Ireland for some
got
fucking
the snakes
weird
out of Ireland. There's there's no snakes in Ireland.
Exactly. I used to celebrate it because I didn't know any better. I mean, because once I left the religion and I was allowed to celebrate
the Irish celebrate.
I decided that I wanted to celebrate it, but now that I know like what it's about, I don't really want anything to do with it. I don't celebrate it anymore.
Yeah, like I said, like we were pagan and we wouldn't celebrate it because, and like we were like, no, because you drove pagans out, drove the Celts out, dude. Like,
exactly. Why am I going to celebrate that?
Way of putting it, it was more like murdered.
Okay, he might have done a genocide, maybe.
Yeah,
I was being.
But that's what they say though. But that's what they say to like kind of like whitewash it. They say like
whitewash
the snakes out
or whatever. So
because that's the main thing. The reason it's not just a euphemism, it's a dehumanization.
Right.
He didn't kill people. It was just pagans, not people.
Right, exactly. That was you kill people, dude. like
right, and they celebrate it, and I just like, are you? I don't know, unaware, or you just that lack empathy? You that apathetic?
Yeah, celebrate Christopher Columbus again, and I'm like, he was like the worst. He was so bad. Like the Spaniards, like that were like going and colonizing. Were like, this guy's a little intense. Like the Spanish king were like, oh, we might have to, like, he was like, he's intense. So that's how bad Christopher Columbus was. Like he didn't understand. Like if you took someone. And like he would like go take natives, try to bring them back, back to Europe, and they would jump off the boat and try to swim back to the island or drown. And he's like, why would they do that? Wouldn't they want to be like ruled over by us?
No, it shouldn't have been a clue.
No,
a clue.
He had a vision from God. Okay, so this is actual history. When he was a child, he dreamed of leading the next crusade to reclaim the Holy Land from those treacherous people who believe in the same God as him, but slightly differently. And then somewhere around age 12, 14, something like that, he had a vision. The Trinity appeared to him and was like, instead of going east, you must go west and carry the cross to the Indies. Bring the true religion. Don't mess around with the Islamic hordes. Go bring the true religion to the east, to the land of spices. And that was his whole thing. Like, he was pitching the thing economically, like, we need a trade route to get the spices and the silks and we'll be rich. But his mission, he believed, was from God to bring Christianity to the savages. And as soon as he got in the West Indies, that's immediately what he set about doing. Like, he kept asking for gold. He kept insisting on spices and treasures and things. But his primary function was kill everyone who isn't a Christian to persuade everyone else to convert before I get to them.
Yeah, pretty. I'm disgusted with the way the whole history is. I don't know. Celebrated.
Yeah, he really, like many Europeans, he believed if you weren't Christian, you weren't human and deserved no rights, no consideration.
Wow.
And he took that aggressively. Like, he was like, of course they want to be ruled over by us because they need God in their lives to elevate them to the level of civilization. They should be grateful for our oppression.
Yeah,
And he had like his uncertainty because he had a vision when he was a horny teenager.
Again, this is how you make important life decisions when you're like 14.
It's just the rationale of like what civilized means.
Right. Usually,
like you're going to murking a bunch of people for whatever, choice, whatever reason you just decide on a whim. But, don't realize that the people that you're, occupying, that you're stealing from, that you're exploiting, that you want to assimilate or just straight up murder. I mean, they just have their own different way of their civility. That's really it. It's just like it's not a fact of what civilization is. I mean, to some extent we get it, but like, you know what I'm saying? So just to come and assume that yours is better while you're the one swinging the sword. Whoa.
Yeah, it's a self-justifying predation kind of thing. It's kind of a cross between predation and parasitism, because healthy civilization, as we see across our own history, as well as in other species that live in social structures, it's an evolutionary kind of thing. Like, you'll have one society and another, and they'll exchange information and ideas and ways of practices, and they'll both become stronger, just like genetic information through, natural selection. You remove the impurities, you get the newest upgraded developments, and everything's better for everybody. But then you're going to have those occasional mutations that are inherently destructive, where they're like, no, I have to kill everything that's not me and just keep cloning over and over,
This is such a good comment. Human beings treat other human beings with respect and do not harm them. How can you be a human being while you treat other human beings as prey animals, as separate species? Yes, when you dehumanize people, are you not also like dehumanizing yourself?
Yeah.
That's how I would see it anyhow.
You would think that.
If you violate someone else's right to life and autonomy, then you yourself have abrogated your claim to that right. If you declare someone else unhuman, you're unhuman. You're unpersoned, to use the 1984 vernacular. It's almost like in David Edding's books, The Belgariad and the Malloreon, there's this system of sorcery that's based on will, what you intend to happen, and then you speak a word to give it form. That's how the magic works. There's one thing you can't do, though, and that's unmake something, because the universe will not allow creation to be reversed. You can change a thing's form, you can teleport it, you can do all the things, but you cannot unmake something. So if you ever focus your will on an enemy and say, be not, it's you that gets unmade.
You open the door, I feel like. You are the one opening the door for your dehumanization. Similarly, like to what we're seeing around here with what's happening with ICE. You are opening the door for someone just to come into your home because they got misinformation, but they think that there's somebody in there who is an immigrant that they want to round up. That's what you want for yourself, because you just opened the door for that to happen.
It's always the thing that, like, because again, like they have to demonize, that's why we were talking about, that these young girls that are getting essayed and getting pregnant and then getting sent somewhere, nobody knows where, to Texas. So the fetuses are protected, and then it is that the only value you have is an incubator, like your value is based on what serves the ruling class, and it's made up by arbitrary bullshit. And that's why it says, like, it's like, well, you don't like people with blue eyes, okay? Why? Oh, people with blue eyes are evil. Okay, like, it's like, if you think about it for 2 seconds, like, that doesn't make any sense, but it's the same argument. Like something about this person is making me uncomfortable, and because I don't understand it, or it's not something that's in my tribe, it must be bad, because they don't know how to differentiate disgust from fear. And to parse that out.
Mic drop. They use a lot of circular logic, and they can't see their ways themselves out of it, like a paper bag.
Like, their argument comes down apart in like 2 seconds. Because like anytime I'm like, do you think you have the right to tell another person what their existence is? Would you like it if I did it to you? And usually they're like, no. And I'm like, okay, then let's take that and let's make it to a next logical conclusion.
Let's not write laws against you then, which means other people, let's
sometimes they factor that in. They're like, well, that's exactly why we have to ban and dominate and dehumanize everybody else, because if we don't do it first, they'll do it to us.
Yeah.
Because it's that projection that we're barbaric savages and will ravage everyone around us. Therefore, everyone else is too. And we're just the clever ones who thought of it first.
It's such an interesting paradox. It's always an Ouroboros. Like, I'm like, you guys are eating your own tail, man. Like, you really are.
It's all projection. It always is.
This does not serve you.
It's always projection.
Yeah.
Which is why this
projection
gets stomped on every single time it shows up, because I realize that people, we've domesticated ourselves to the extent that we're like, peaceful protest. These fuckers aren't interested in peace. They don't care what you have to say. You're not stopping them. And so they'll just keep doing what they're doing.
Yeah. I think we just need to literally sit at every capital and annoy the F out of the government until we annoy our local government to really kind of start to stand up and speak out and say some stuff and do some stuff.
Well, because like the things are getting like bill just went through in my state that if you any sort of gathering you want to do, like for example a pride event, has to be approved through the governor.
Oh boy, of course.
And so my brother, I was with my brother, but he goes, well, isn't that only for celebration? So I'm like, no, the language in the bill is deliberately vague. So also but forced language could not be back, could not like really be constitutionally enforced, but it's kind of getting done anyway because we have teachers leaving because they can't self-identify as trans. So we have basically the school system has told me I am not a person. And they're moving to blue states, and we're losing these really great. And there's ICE here. My husband works less than 1 mile from my house, and one of his workers that buys my husband works for a company that sells pavers. They came in to pick up an order, and he's Hispanic as well, but one of his day workers, they came in and just took him.
Oh yeah, that's terrible, man.
I hate it here.
Yeah, that's absolutely frightening.
And my kid is trans, and my roommate is trans, and I have other people in my life that are queer. I'm queer. I'm just like, I just contingency plan is to move to Canada. working on
Yeah.
becoming a Canadian citizen because I'm like, I don't feel safe.
Yeah. I mean, like, I don't
You
even
shouldn't,
necessarily.
'cause you're not.
Yeah, like, I don't
None of
even necessarily feel safe in my state, and like, I'm hopefully moving later this year, but like, it's still a reddish state, so it's like,
Are you going to be getting away from it? Maybe not.
yeah. I
Like,
mean, to be fair, where I'm going, it's better than it is here. So
Oh,
there is
good.
that.
Yeah.
There is that. Okay, good. I'm glad to hear that. Yeah. I mean,
I
this
mean,
really all just
Yeah, like I live in the like reddest state with like the worst laws in the country right now. So
Well, Florida's giving you a run for your money on that.
Yeah,
The-
we're like,
the two worst
DeSantis
are
is like, I'm
Florida
gonna
and
make this a
Texas.
totalitarian state, literally.
Yeah, Texas are right there too. Like it's a toss up between Florida and Texas.
Oklahoma, until the superintendent like got kicked out, they were like, basically this guy was like trying to put, and they were like, no, you cannot have like kids worshiping Trump in school, dude. So they voted him out. I was like, good for you, Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Fucking Oklahoma and Kansas are trying for it. My goodness. But Florida, I think Florida, despite the fact that Texas will just kill you for being queer at this point, Florida may have gone a step further in a different legalistic direction because the governor has given himself the power to remove other elected officials from office. He can just like, if you're the mayor of a city and you do something he doesn't like, he can just, you're not the mayor anymore.
it's absolutely, oh my God, how fast.
And I understand because like his term's up.
When is it up?
November, it's our vote. So his term's up.
Oh,
this year.
please. Oh, he's going to be gone. I think
we hate there's people
Floridians-
like people our state is in some bad shape. And hurricane season is coming earlier and earlier, so that's fun.
What would you say?
And we haven't had a lot of disaster relief because the global temperatures, the Gulf temperatures are just getting warmer, and our summers are lasting longer, so our hurricane season's lasting.
Well, Christy Nome needed her plane, so I'm sorry you didn't get the help you needed, but like it's really important.
She needed her plane, guys. Like,
yeah, no, I'm serious. Think about it. Like she needed a safe place to be able to have her affairs. So you're not even thinking about her and putting yourself in her shoes.
I really wasn't. I was thinking about like, wow. Right, people are losing their businesses and homes, and it's flooded. Like, we're really lucky that we did so well during the 2024 hurricane season. But that being said, just saying, but we were lucky because we were in a brand new house, and where I live has a lot of natural protection. So good for us. That's privilege. Like the thing that keeps people like segregated and not accessing is zip code. Where you live determines what kind of help you're going to get.
Yeah.
Who lives near you, how they think, how they vote, how they perceive the world. If they're if they've learned not to just talk to people that look like them, and have been living in the same bubble, and then they see someone different and their brain short circuits. Or do you live in people that are like, I like my neighbors, I can talk to them like they're normal people.
I don't talk to my neighbors. That's just a habit. But I do want to do better. But I love the area that I live in because it's really mixed. And that's how I grew up, in a very mixed area. And I think if it weren't for that, I'd have been effed in the B, because I was so like kept in a bubble that at least at school I had all these different cultures that I could at least interact with a couple hours a day.
Yeah.
Bubble.
Toil and trouble, man.
Says, if Oklahoma starts throwing gay people off of rooftops, is the Navy going to fire tomahawks into all the girls' schools in Oklahoma, or does Oklahoma not let girls attend school in the first place? And I think it's probably
good point.
They used to, but at this point, if you're under 16, you should either be married or pregnant with an ICE agent's baby, so you have no need for school.
Oh my
Real,
goodness.
well, like really, according to Matt Walsh's model, it's like 14. So because that's reasonable.
Ugh,
like
disgusting.
he basically like openly like not so openly like said the quiet part out loud and not so many words, and I was just sitting there listening. I was like, my dude. Like I know he's an awful person, but that was just another leap, and I was like, well, it tracks.
I want somebody to be held accountable for what happened to that school. It better happen.
Yep.
They better drag Hegseth and whoever the hell else they need to with whatever else AI program that they used or whatever, and handle that business, because it absolutely was our Tomahawk missile. We know that much.
Yeah.
So yeah, you need to be held accountable.
Yeah.
Because that's disgusting.
It certainly wasn't the Dutch. It certainly wasn't the British. It was us. And on top of that, they're saying like, well, our information was out of date. Dude, you can look it up on Google Maps. It was a freaking school. Like, no, your excuses don't work.
That's what happens when you use AI.
War out of date. What the fuck? Like,
they
if
also
you went after Hitler in World War II, if you tried to attack the Nazi war machine using information from fucking Kaiser Wilhelm's administration, you're not going to hit any of their factories. What the fuck are you doing?
They also
realize
AI
intelligence is an oxymoron, but for fuck's sake.
Right. The AI that they use also targeted a park because the park was named like Police Park. It's just the name of it. But because it had police in the name, it bombed a park with kids in it. Well done. That AI is
like, okay. Like, this is the thing that frustrates me is that AI, like, it gets very complicated because obviously we want to program this thing with like human values, right? Okay. So I have a point with this when it comes to war. Okay. But what values do we put in? Do we put Western, idea of humanistic values? Do we put in, another person's ideas of values? Do we put religious values? Like what like to me, it'd be humanist values, like a pluralist sort of value. But it also depends on who the ruling class is, what color they are, their economic influence, and if they have access to power. They're the ones that are going to program the program. And then the AI learns, oh, this is the way humans behave. And then it reflects what we do. And then it will make, and also because it doesn't understand nuance, like police,
right,
things like this happen because it only has the information that we give it. Because like it can't even get hands right, guys. Like there's people using it for surgery. I'm like, are you insane? And it goes, guess what? People are dying, guys. Guess what? People are dying from getting surgery from AI. I know, shocking.
Yeah. I never even heard of that.
Yeah.
You mean the spleen isn't up here?
Yeah.
Oof. No, I didn't.
Yeah, it was covered. We covered it for my job several weeks ago now.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
On what's his face? Secular Talk?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Okay.
It was a few weeks ago.
Yeah, I heard on I heard from Kyle. And I was
okay. I must have missed that. I'll have to check that out. That's really crazy.
It was wild.
I do agree with this. And what I think is that they know that. So we probably should be careful how we word that, because they think, oh, if we use the AI, it's hands off. We can't be blamed, so they're doing it intentionally to hope that they can get off because they do know. It's like so sick, right? It's so sick, the mind games that they're playing with us.
They're cowards. Like they can't just stand up and say, yeah, we murdered the brown people because fuck brown people. Who's going to stop us? They won't, because they're cowards. They're like, oh, it was a mistake, though.
But Trump has much said so. Did you hear what he said on the plane the other day?
Hallucination made an error and hallucinated. But it was a mistake.
That's what it does. It does. It was doing that to me the other day too. It was telling me something. I was like, and I gave it the article, and then anyway, doesn't matter. But Trump was standing on his plane the other day saying that Iranians had their DNA or something was wrong, like something was wrong with them, just like inherently.
Yeah, no, they were saying that they were genetically, like their genetics are messed up, like going full eugenics.
Right.
Like, it was insane. Yeah.
Right. So they're trying to pave the way to make it okay to bomb a girl's school. They're all going to be terrorists.
Okay to kick out everybody in the country that's not white. That's why
they're using the Israeli language.
Not even that, Leth, we're not staying because one, we're not viable to have children anymore.
Yeah, but here's the other thing too, and this just popped up. I saw this last night too. Trump is basically begging for immigrant workers to come back too, because he knows how bad the economy is. And it's like, oh shit, dude,
can kidnap you again.
One, like if you're,
what could possibly go wrong? Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
I'm like you. Every time you try to separate up, human beings from each other, and like you always lose. You always do. Every single time you say like this human being is better than this human being, and they dehuman and you remove them from society, and always going to fuck you every time because you're losing so much. And I'm just like, I don't know what's wrong with you. I just don't. Like,
I do. It's profit motive. They don't. You know what? We're way past time for a break. So we do our supporters, or do we want to, keep the nationalist train going with the the apologists?
We're making capitalism work for us, Ember.
Surprise us?
Okay. We'll do supporters because
it's
fun, and it's a product of Jess from How to Rule an Asteroid, which is fucking amazing.
Yeah.
So yeah. 3 minutes. Grab your coffees.
This bio break from Java and Jugs is proudly brought to you by today's completely real, definitely legitimate sponsors. First and foremost, caffeinated bean water. Because without coffee, skepticism becomes maybe later. Critical thinking becomes after a nap. And suddenly you're halfway through a YouTube comment wondering how you got there. Caffeinated bean water. Bitter. Reliable. Just like your best takes. This segment is also sponsored by Bras That Understand. Bras designed for women who sit forward into microphones, gesture aggressively while being correct, and refuse to apologize for existing in 3 dimensions. Bras That Understand, holding the line, holding everything else, too. Additional support comes from sports bras for when the conversation gets heated, because nothing escalates faster than a debate about religion, politics, or whether women are too emotional to have opinions. This break is further endorsed by adjusting your straps mid-sentence, the graceful art of fixing your situation without breaking eye contact or losing your point. Because if men can scratch and keep talking, we can adjust and continue dismantling theology. And let's not forget our community sponsor, the radical concept that women can have boobs and brains. A shocking idea to some, a daily lived reality to us. Here at Java and Jugs, we believe you can enjoy coffee and evidence, cleavage and constitutional literacy, humor and serious conversations about the systems that shape our lives. We're taking a quick bio break. That means refilling mugs, stretching legs, appeasing gravity, and preparing to come back with fresh caffeine and even fresher skepticism. When we return, we'll be doing what we do best, questioning gods, side-eyeing bad politics, and proving that women don't need divine permission, modesty lectures, or sponsorship approval to speak. Java and Jugs, fueled by coffee, supported by bras. sustained entirely by audacity and critical thinking. Stay right there. We'll be back after this completely secular, absolutely necessary pause.
Woohoo! Hello,
I have my
everybody.
coffee right here.
I went and got
This
my
is-
water.
thi-
I got my medicine.
This is my Monday ritual. Like, I'll get up an hour early, I will go get coffee, and then get on Jugs. That's what I do
didn't
on
have
Mondays.
time for coffee. I still have some left though, so I don't need more coffee. But I did need a bathroom break and more water. That would have been bad. Oh shoot! I actually left something downstairs. Well, there's that. Okay. Well, Anyhow.
Anyway, so can I share something cool real fast?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so when everybody was really nice, like Ember and Adrian did that fundraiser for me. Cosmic Kyle, he couldn't donate, but he sent me 2 new prints that he did. So I don't know if you guys can see that, but
no, I can now. We can now. That there you go. Hold it right like that. That's so cool.
You give me that
awesome.
one. So this is I now have 6, I think, or 7. I don't know.
I'm jealous.
And this one.
Ooh,
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah. So
that's
he
awesome.
sells his astrophotography. So if you go to Cosmic Kyle, if he's usually around the community, he has a really cool telescope and he does awesome fucking photography. And you should buy some space photos, and buy some space pride flags and stickers that Ember's selling.
Yes,
because
those are very cool too.
Yep.
Unique.
Yes.
I love
space
I love
stuff,
the
guys.
Yeah, they're very, very unique, and I'm hoping to get one of the trans ones.
My
soon.
oldest is getting the trans one. I'm going to get. I think I might get a new progress flag because I have the one I got for free during Pride Month like a few years ago. But I kind of want to get since I'm going to be going to the No Kings protest on the 28th.
Okay.
There is a No Kings protest on March 28th. I know on the Eastern for us it's going to be 9 a.m. Eastern time. So please go to No Kings and find out where your local protest is going to be.
Yeah, go support.
They're all over the place.
Yeah,
they are. They are all over the place.
Yeah,
that's for sure. I had a trans. Oh, sorry. I was just gonna say I have a trans flag outside, but you really can't see it because I didn't realize how big it was. Like I thought it was like one like this size that like you hang from like your mailbox, and it was like a flag. So I hung it. You have to like really walk up to it to see that it says trans pride because it's like wrinkled. So I need a new one.
I have a little thing on my front door, and it's rainbow. It's a little cat, it's queer coded. It has a little kitty cat. It says, love always wins on my front door. But I have like a screen we call the kitty cat airlock. So this when we open our front door, they don't run out. If they run into, they'll hit that little screen area, and then they won't get into the yard. So we have this little porch area over here, and that's screened in, so the cats don't get out. We were trying to let them onto the porch, but one of my cats, Bellatrix, ate a black lizard and got really sick, and the farts were really bad, guys. So we're like, not again. And she never has sticky farts. So.
That bad. What were you gonna say,
guys?
Oh, I was gonna say with the protest, one thing I've heard, and I cannot remember her name, but she says fascism. But anyway, she said if you look through history, and I've noticed this too, that once you hit about 3% of the population, like protesting something going on, that's when you start to see change happening. And we're at like 2.8% of the population that's been going to like No Kings protests and stuff. So everybody that can go needs to go so we can try to get something actually going. on this. I mean, they've been growing every single time.
They're saying this is going to be the next biggest one. Like, so, yeah.
I should
last
go.
time. Yeah.
There's so much fun. You meet like people have like great signs, and you get to talk to like there's like an older queer community here. Like there's so many old queers here. I love it. And I found out there's this like in my very red county where my school board head doesn't think queer people should exist. Has a really big queer community, but there's also like a youth hangout for queer youth, and also for queer people in the community, like a social thing. So I told my oldest, and my roommate, I was like, when I have this little camera, we'll connect with people down there, and then maybe, gather something and get us all the old queers together to stop the fascists.
Gotta stop the fascists.
I can't help but notice I came in because it took me longer than usual to get my coffee. There's a lot going on, but pride flags. If you need new pride flags, we were just talking about that. We've got a bunch of them.
I think I ordered theirs. I gotta ask again because I know they were gonna order one. So I think my oldest is ordering the trans one. Oh my goodness! And I was just saying, probably when I have spending money, I'm gonna get a new progress flag, the space progress flag.
Nice.
Money's hard to come by these days.
Yeah, I have a polysexual flag.
Inflation for some reason.
People do notice your flags, though. I've had people comment on my Palestinian flag more than once. And good, like positive. I have had somebody give me the finger, and I don't know if that might have been because of it, but say it to my face.
Hard to say, I'm working on more flags all the time.
Maybe it was like the fuck the bad people that are doing the things to Palestine.
Maybe that's exactly what it was.
Yeah, he's like, hey, I'm not for
that's Israel. I agree with
the
you.
War crimes. Fuck
right,
war crimes.
That's war crimes. I think you're right.
It's all how you interpret things, guys.
I want to put the positive. I like the positive spin better.
I have to. This is how I survive this. Your existential dread, guys. You get high. You talk about it with your friends, and then you turn it into a positive somehow.
Astroglide. Astroglide and that pride flag.
A shorter link now because I've got a few different people who have promo codes, and incidentally, if you're a content creator and you want to work out a micro sponsorship sort of thing, hit me up because I've made promo codes for Lil, for Brentley, for Joe the Kentucky Atheist. We can set something up. But because that link is a mouthful. Poor Brentley, he tries to say the entire web address every time. And he tried to say better than ever -shop.fourthwall.com/promo. And I'm like, holy shit. So it's astralpride.com. And then enter the promo code, whether it's Lil or Punk or TK, whatever. But just astralpride.com. It's so much easier.
Yeah. Speaking of Brentley, we're going to be doing a stream Easter weekend. I think we're doing that on Sunday, Easter Sunday. I'm pretty sure. And
Easter.
I think it's the 5th.
Oh gosh,
I'm sure it's the 5th. Yes, because on the 4th I have a birthday party to go to. So so we're going to be doing a stream. I know. Listen, I know that Easter is right around my birthday this year. So,
Yes, it is. It is the 5th. But isn't that interesting how they're like, oh, Christianity is rah, 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 rah. But the most important holiday, the day that supposedly is about the resurrection, which is the foundation of the religion, even though it still has the name of the goddess whose holiday it actually was, that they just, but never mind that. It happens on the third Sunday after the first full moon after the equinox or some bullshit. Like how much more pagan can you get?
It's so pagan.
Yeah.
It is, and it's a fertility, because in the spring, like the fertility goddess like starts planting seeds, guys. Okay, this is like when this is your agriculture societies that was basically like, hey, the earth is starting to wake up, we can plant stuff. And then they associate that with the spring goddess, which is a maiden, and you look at maiden imagery, in antiquity, it's usually some kind of harvest thing going on, especially with like, and with beauty and youth and all things. Okay. So
vitality.
Yeah.
Fertility and youth don't necessarily go hand
I
in hand.
know that. Because like,
no, not necessarily, but in some cultures it's like a rebirth. It's like a starting over of sorts. It just depends, I guess, on the culture and how
it just depends, like and fertility doesn't necessarily mean youth. It could just mean like the earth being fertile, that new life will spring, so we just tend in a modern context associated with youth. And are you able to bear a child?
That youth part is the child. It's the new seedlings. They're young. It's the new baby rabbits.
It's the little tiny like eggs, guys. Yeah. So it's
but fertility. It's all the things. It's not just human reproduction. In fact, it's even more important to have your crops do the thing.
So what does that have anything to do with Jesus coming back from the dead?
Because in some mythologies, the spring there's a lot of sun holidays on equinoxes. Okay. And a lot of myths that happen around like these myth cycles have their god coming to either they're sacrificing or they're coming to full power, depending on or being born, depending on where you are in your cycle. Right. So you have a sun god. You have the thawing of winter, so the ending of death, and you start to, and because you are a society that starts to associate like weather phenomenon and how the sun moves and how it like, that somehow the sun affects the earth to make crops grow, but you don't know how photosynthesis works. So there must be a force behind it. So you start making up a myth. And then, but because it was associated with the equinox, okay, and because we don't, so they made up a fable that Jesus was a sun god, because that is where the pagan cut things away from the pagans. And so, and that's why, Easter's usually close to the spring equinox.
With the ball cycle.
And it's also associated with a calendar change in the Catholic Church too. So.
Yeah, there's been a lot of calendar revisions.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
Easter comes from the Germanics, the heathens, like the actual capital H heathens. That's where Easter is originally from.
Yeah, that's right.
Her holiday is weirdly, it's almost the same alchemical formula as figuring out the Jewish Passover, which is what Easter is ostensibly supposed to be. It happens on Passover weekend, give or take sort of deal. And the calculation for Passover is it starts on the 15th of Nisan. But because Nissan, like Honda and Chevrolet, are lunar months, when that happens, moves every year. So it happens to be like the first full moon after the spring equinox, and then to get Easter down to just a day, it's the Sunday that's in the week of Passover. Yeah. It's a whole fucking week.
Yeah.
You got to be a mathologist to be able to figure it out, Sorry.
It's gematria equations or something.
and gematria, right?
Like, the Catholics have their own astronomy lab, so they know how to track this. Like, they know when the next full, when those full moons are supposed to happen, when Easter is supposed to happen. It's like it's in their calendars. So they have predicted, which is like that's the thing about the Catholics. But like, this is the thing about like when I went to school, I had religion class and I had science class. Like I had the twines did not meet. It was basically like God set the world forward, but like obviously the earth is not 6,000 years old. Like we have proof of that. So you know, it just what, so when I left religion, it was so like, that part was so easy because like I already had roots in science. Like I would go to church, and I went to Catholic school, but I watched like Mr. Wizard. I was watching like, you know, Cosmos and Mr. Rogers, and like, because my dad liked science, he believed in God, but so like I had this like balance of education. So the unwinding of the wait, like I wanted to believe there was something beyond life, or like reincarnation, or some kind of like, maybe we become pure thought and then we become like, you know, some bullshit that you tell yourself. And paganism is appealing to me, and then I basically started just saying like, I became like culturally pagan. I didn't really like, once I really started breaking down, like, it's all a myth. All these are myths, you know. And then I'm like, but I'm like, I like a party. So, you know, I like celebrating someone.
People are so much more loving and accepting than in most Christianities. And the holy dates align better with the natural world. You're like, at least there's something that matches reality in this one, you know. So there's a lot of pluses in paganism, but there's also nutters who think it's literally true, like with every religion, I suppose.
And and you still have issues of power dynamics. There are issues of still fetish, like there can set. Okay, one thing about pagan religion, it is very sex positive, and it's queer positive, and it's people like you, like and they don't proselytize. Like, if you want to be a pagan, go ahead, fine. You practice by yourself. Don't care. Well, okay.
I have run into a lot of pagans who proselytize conspiracy theories, which is another bit of an issue with the open-minded New Agers. Is sometimes their mind is so open that 5G falls in.
Yeah,
you know?
like it was a little hard for me because like I was into the idea, like, you know, like personifying a part of myself to relate to like the goddess Freya. You know, like I kind of understand it on a psychological, like putting on a deific max. You don't really believe there's a Freya, but the values of her mythology, you know, you're doing an active play, you know, with that persona, you know, and giving it significant it's psychologically spiritual. That's basically what you know. You just know it's trickery. But that being said, it gets weird because then you get people that like believe they can turn into werewolves that I have met. There are homophobic pagans that say, like, you know, they get into that weird, you know, like they do not understand Norse mythology at all.
Right.
But they think they do, and they misinterpret it, and they adopt symbols they do not understand, and then they start saying, like, you know, the worst things ever. And then, or you get a lot of people that will and I was guilty of this, of culturally appropriating something that I didn't understand the actual real context of, because I just like the aesthetic and I like the surface story, but you don't have, like, I knew European like mythologies really well, but not so much like Hindus and, you know, early Middle Eastern religions, you know, but I like the aesthetics. So I, you know, would take on practices that didn't belong because that's what you did. You know, you adapted, you know, and you thought you were honoring them. You don't understand it if you're not part of that culture, you know. Yeah. So there's that there, and there's power dynamics and a whole bunch of other stuff I can go into. So
there's a lot of people who do that, like with indigenous practices and the smudging and that's my spirit animal, which, like, you know, they probably don't even get that, like, they're taking somebody's cultural, like, traditional belief system, like part of their practices, and just kind of like, oh my god, like, I'm such a cat, like, I'm like, my spirit animal is
I am mommy's 14th turkey.
Yeah, you know, and you get that too, you get that kind of stuff too, that's a lot of time been debunked. Many of the people here who have been told throughout their history that they're one of this tribe, after they've done a DNA test, found out, like, oops, that's none of it, and that's all just part of the intentional erasure as well.
Right. It's a very interesting sort of so now that I'm out of it and I kind of like, can see the forest from the trees, like I did a lot of thinking about that. But the thing is though, like I went to an indie festival and I got henna done, and I paid it, and
Cool.
she kind of like, I was having trouble paying her, and she's like, you don't have to pay me. I'm like, I'm gonna pay you. I'm like, I just can't get my Venmo to work. Like, and they were like the nicest people, and it was just, and we were like laughing at stupid not acknowledging. It was like, it was a really great afternoon. And then like when, but I got to experience, but like I was actually thought about you, Ember, when I was there, because they did a fashion show of all the different royal, through the Indian dynasties. But the thing is, though, is that they would have them come up and they would like the man one like playing, particular, this is from the Punjab Empire, and the clothing that they wore, the royals wore. Okay, and you do see a progression of styles with each dynasty, and it was really cool. And I thought, I was like, Amber would really like this. The only thing is though, like I was gonna like record it so I could like go, but the thing is that they didn't read I'm like way back here in the shade in my wheelchair, and like the stage is like 500 feet away. I'm trying to on my little phone to like, and I was like, that's not good, because there was a card that explained it, but the girl would not read the card. They would just say this Punjab, empire, dynasty, and that was it. Like, and the king and queen at that time. And I was like, can you get the history? Like, I want to know what I'm looking at. So that was the only complaint, because it was really interesting. Like, I sat there watching all the shows. It was great. So it was a great afternoon.
I mean, as far as like henna and things of that nature, I can't speak. Obviously, not a monolith, but like henna allegedly comes from that area, like not here, obviously in the United States. But I feel like most of the people that I've talked to have said, like, for henna, let's just say henna, that if you're doing it like out of respect and for fun and for whatever, and you're not openly like just some kind of bigot towards those same kind of people, like, you say you hate Mexicans and you don't want them in your country, but then you want to like celebrate Cinco de Mayo, right? You know what I mean? Like, it's just so, it's so weird. But if you aren't doing those kind of things, okay, well, you respect you. It's like appreciation versus like appropriation. There is a difference.
Happened back in the day with the Irish, back when we were still seeing signs around cities saying Irish need not apply, because even though they were European, they weren't the right kind of European and therefore weren't fully human. Like this concept of white people only became a thing when suddenly there were people who weren't slaves that had darker skin, and then all the white people have to stick together. But in that period before, when Italians weren't fully human and Irish weren't fully human, and the Polish were kind of on the fence, all of the cultural holidays, people would take the holidays and still shit on the people.
Right. Exactly. Like this, Christians, really, like all of the stuff that's borrowed from their religion. And I'm not just even talking about Christianity, even the stuff that inspired the stuff before that, like in Judaism, you know what I mean? Like none of it is pristine. None of it is unique to the degree that they believe it's unique, but they ish on all those people that they borrowed. I mean, to me, I feel like you stole it from. If you don't respect it enough, then that's where I see like it's stealing and appropriation versus appreciation, because you talk ish about them.
Yeah, that's the true Christian tradition. The only tradition through all of the Judeo-Christian yada yada is just copy pasting everybody else's stuff. There's like nothing original. They started with the Canaanite pantheon. They copied in sections from the Epic of Gilgamesh and from the Enuma Elish and from the history, the mythology of Babylon, and some stuff from Egypt and all this other stuff, and eventually built this pseudo monotheism about a god that they never actually really worshipped. And even the monotheism is a bit of a retcon, right? Like Yahwism fell out of favor for hundreds of years until the century before the Romans showed up, and they were like, we should make Yahweh great again. And so they're like, on their own religion to pretend it had been monotheistic the whole time.
They
and
did.
banished folk religions. And it just like the whole thing is just plagiarism and fabrication.
Yeah.
It is.
All the
It
way
is
down.
Anachronistic.
and
Anachronistic.
fanfic.
Would you say camping?
And fanfic.
Oh yes, yeah, absolutely.
it's-
Right. It's
it's-
just go ahead.
And that's like, you know, the more you like if you read David Fitzgerald's books, or you know, you're really interested in like biblical history, like, because it's fascinating. Like the real history is more fascinating than the simple thing of like, hey, God said you're cool.
Yeah, right. That's
get
the
this
fun
land.
part.
Cool. And
It's
also that person doesn't worship me, so you are justified to take their life. Like it's like, well, what? You know, it's a mixed bag.
It's adding more layers and perspective to the story that you don't get, because obviously the Christians and all other religions have to argue with the text all the time. They're trying to argue with the text, trying to make sure that their doctrine is the one that shines through, instead of, really going beneath what's right there on the layer, like, on the front, what you see, read between the lines, start to dig, find out the context, find out what, is there any mistranslation? Like, they don't want to do any of that soul searching with it. And that is where I find fun interacting with the text. And also, like you said, with, the goddess and things of that nature, I just feel like I respect like that goddess aspect for what it is, because I know it means a lot to other people. So for me, like preserving that honor and understanding and knowledge is important to me, not just for myself, but for other women, men, whoever needs it.
Yeah, it's like that whole atheo-pagan concept, like
Exactly.
we're atheists, but we can understand like the goddess is representative of what's sacred about femininity. And as long as we understand gods and goddesses and all these mythological stories, they're representative of concepts rather than literal descriptions of history. We can actually gain wisdom out of these damn things instead of prostrating ourselves and trying to snort dirt like a fucking serpent in the story of Genesis.
It's like projection. It's our reflection of ourselves up into the divine world. And when they cut out the mother goddess and just try to all like put everything into this one divine aspect of a male god, it just is not reflective of who we are as a society. It doesn't work. And we're just feeling it.
Even the Trinity, like you can see the aspects of the Father and the Holy Spirit in the Old Testament. They like to try to project Jesus in there, but it doesn't really work. But the Holy Spirit is always depicted as female. So,
right,
which is why it's a ghost now and has no gender or shoes, apparently.
And even early Christianity, and you can tell that from extant literature, not canonized, calls it her. Jesus refers to it as she. She came down in as a dove. What is another like representative, ideologically with Asherah? A dove. Like there's so many symbols there. If people really cared to take a look to see what Christianity has borrowed of the mother goddess and now has implanted it into Jesus and into both Mary, but they absolutely refuse. I guess it's scary.
Well,
women are scary.
Shut up.
We're intimidating. Did you know that out of there's like 5 different species that do offspring the way we do, with long gestations and usually single births and so on and so forth. All of them except us are matriarchal because of the sheer amount of the species energy that goes into reproduction. Females have to be prioritized and protected and so on and so forth. But because of that, the women are in charge and the men like do what they're told, except humans. And even in humans, we know it's an artificial system because the older civilizations preceding the way back in the beginning, there was what we now call the Minoan civilization, even though it's a damn shame to name it after the man who ruined it. But never mind.
Wait, I didn't. Oh, I forgot that part. No, we're gonna fix that. We're gonna have to fix that. Go ahead, keep going.
I know. I prefer to call it the Ariadnean civilization because Ariadne features in like the biggest myth of the people. But whatever. When I say Minoan, people know what I mean. So the Minoan civilization, and there was the Fertile Crescent civilization, the what would eventually become Avalon and all that crap. And the one was matriarchal and the other was patriarchal. And then the Bronze Age collapse happened, and it wiped out the Minoan civilization, leaving the patriarchal civilization uncontested. And we'll never know what the world could have looked like, because the Minoan civilization didn't have slavery. They didn't have the same concept of everything has to be property the way they had in the Fertile Crescent. Like not just land, but people and fucking nutty shit. And they had advanced tools. They had advanced art. Like they were in the early Renaissance at the end of the Bronze Age, you know?
As our friend Cynthia says, for capitalism to thrive, there must be a subjugated class.
Yeah, right. Now there's a lot of us.
Right.
They got a lot of us to subjugate.
Right.
The 1%, man, they got us.
It is one of the things about, like, you know, when you become so rich that nothing can touch you. You can buy out, like you could, you know, unalive somebody and then, you know, pay off the right people. And you lose your humanity because that's like, you know, we do better in these socialism works well about like 150 people. You'll get that's cooperative, you know, sort of social groups, you know, as far as like our expansion of like how we understand, like, you know, people related to us, you know, about 150, and like we'll do, but when we get bigger, it gets harder, like thousands and millions of people. Like that's why hierarchies show up, because when we're talking about like really big numbers, like governments, it gets sticky. That's why a representative usually works better, and you know, democracy is pretty good because we have people that are supposed to be representing the populace, you know. But under capitalism, it's all white dudes. And some people, they were like, oh, yeah, I broke the glass ceiling.
It's not even white dudes. It's the richest motherfuckers. Like they've never cared about white dudes. They make the white dudes feel like they're the highest of the fucking bootlickers, but they're still being trodden upon. The whole "Don't Tread on Me" group, who's
I have a I have a little crayon of the "Don't Step on Sneak" on the back of my car, because I saw a lot of "Don't Tread on Me" in Port Charlotte, and I was like, I'm kidding, I don't step on Sneak.
Yeah, I grew up seeing that image as a kid, and seeing it now, real like I just find it so funny. Because back then I think it actually meant something, and now it just means bend over and F me, daddy.
Yeah, there's a lot of them. I've seen reworked ones, various memes, but one of my favorites is there's a ball gag in the snake's mouth, and it's like prostrate on its back, and it's like "Tread on me harder, daddy."
I've seen that. It's the best.
Yeah, like, exactly. My fucking God. But yeah, back in the day, like they were mad about taxes on tea and stamps, like just a couple of taxes, and they were willing to violence. And these are the fuckers, like we talk about Martin Luther King and a nonviolent protest and how that's noble and legitimate and yada. But in school, when we talk history, we're like, you know, fucking Benjamin Franklin and Thomas Paine and George Washington and Madison and Jefferson, all these guys were willing to kill a fuck ton of soldiers over a 1 cent tax on tea. Like the government got a little bit out of line, and they're like, okay, we have no choice, we're doing a murder. And they're held up as the highest heroes ever. This weird double standard of your protests aren't legitimate unless you're also sucking the oligarchs' cocks while you do
Right.
it. But at the same time, the greatest heroes ever went to war over fucking tea and massacres, but mostly
And
the
now,
tea.
look now. And now what?
Now you
Nothing.
know what you
Nothing
want.
they do would rattle them. Nothing he does rattles these people. They dig their heels in harder.
They're
like,
cowards. They're all fucking cowards. And it's been trained into them. It's been bred into them. It's been programmed into them. It's been socially conditioned into them. But fundamentally, they are fucking cowards.
They
Agreed.
their psychology is just different. They don't like we are, and this is just because this is as you get, you know, the more experiences you have, the more your gray matter grows, and then you become more of a creative thinker. I can think abstractly. You can look at something and go, hey, color and race are just social concepts we made up, and you have the ability to do that, right? And then just see people as people. These people, like, because they're in constant fear. They have an inclination to go through to authoritarian figures. They're usually undereducated. And there's usually some kind of, and I'm not excusing this, and I'm not, but there's some kind of trauma that they seek, almost like that security through somebody else. There's a wound that keeps, and that wound, that neuron is constantly being triggered. I am afraid. I need daddy to take care of it. You know, daddy will keep me safe. But the thing is, though, along the way, because you're not getting exposed to new ways of thinking, you start thinking bad things about other people. And their psychology is just the way it's like, you know, nature versus nurture. But we know that, you know, you can take an isolated person, get them more exposed to different experiences, and you see bigotry start to melt away because they get exposed. They're like, oh, this is just a person. You know, you can't deny who's daddy's
Probably all of our daddies.
Talk about how we have daddy issues, right? How we're all like rebellious and leaving the church and you know, living our lives and shit, you know, having our bodies conform to our own medical needs rather than what we're told by the outside society, all this sorts of stuff. But when push comes to shove, it's them who will throw every single thing they claim as a principle and all their morals out the window just to open their throats a little wider for the tiniest fucking penis you've ever seen.
It is like it's like I'm like it's every day opposite day. I just sit there and go, but then I'm reminded that I have to remind myself I have rules for my ChatGPT of how I get news, and 2 days a week I have science news, and I have news about groups that are doing fighting the fight, and bills that are being pushed through or stopped to in smaller courts because we gotta hold back the tide, and that gives me motivation because that's the only way I'm gonna get through this.
We need to see some good news. We need more good news. There's not nearly enough of it. It's But until then, we keep fucking fighting. So remember, the next No Kings is March 28th. NoKings.org. Be a part of your local organization. Do whatever you can. Bring a friend.
They're fun. You meet the coolest people.
Is the extent of how far you're willing to go to protect your own life, your children's lives, your fellow citizens' lives, and visitors, guests within our home. If just being peacefully visible is as far as you're willing to go, at least do that. And with that, I got to scoot and get ready for the next show.
Bye, Ember.
Bye, Ember. Love you.
Bye.
Bye. All right, you make sure you stay tuned for Better Than Ember up next. It might not direct you over to her live streams, so I'm assuming the link is in I said I would start putting it into the chat, and I did not. And I don't know if Ember put it in here, but hopefully somebody has a link for today's video live stream. Anyway, you guys, do you have anything that you would like to say as we end the stream, do you have anything you that's coming up you would like to tell people about, or any final words in regards to some of the stuff we talked about today?
What are you doing this weekend, Lilith?
I'm basically doing Ember most of the week, politicality, my usual stuff. The show on Seth's channel, which is Ambushed Apostate, Kindling the Chaos, that's our new series on Christian nationalists, covering it from my perspective as a political analyst and his as a former Christian nationalist. There's some other good stuff going on his channel, and stay tuned on mine because there's other stuff coming on mine too. So
Get it, Lil. Busy Beaver. What about you, Helen?
So Joe's gonna be on my show tonight. We confirmed. What are we talking about? No idea. Tomorrow, I have Jim Barrows on my show at 7 p.m. So 7 p.m. Eastern over on Free Thinkers Fireside. So I'm having that tomorrow. What I mean, Jim, talking about? Don't know. I know. And then on Wednesday, I'm going to be doing a recording with SR for Secular Rising. We're going to be talking about trauma and parasocial relationships and how we interpret those relationships. And I'm going to bring receipts, guys. So I'll bring some studies. So that will be up on that channel next week. And this coming Thursday, I believe I think it's my friend Rob Palmer from Recovering from Religion, who is also part of the skeptic community, and he works with like Susan Gerbic. And so if you know who Susan Gerbic is, she is a huge basically they do if you go to Wikipedia and you read a page about psychics, at the bottom they'll put the debunking information and like connect people with information, like, you know, finding out John Edward is like a piece of crap. And they also do science verification, how to think about, like, you know, fallacies and stuff like that. And when I volunteered at Recovering from Religion, he trained me, and we've been friends for 6 years. So he's a wonderful human being as well. And he's a former engineer. He used to work on spaceships. So I think we're going to be talking. We talked what we talked about last time. We talked about psychics last time. So I think we're going to talk about conspiracy theories. And I definitely want to ask him about the new Havana syndrome thing about that. He also writes for Skeptical Inquirer, and I did an article for him on the Spirit University, where I used to work as a manager for a psychic university, guys. So that was a story I'll tell you guys at another time.
Awesome. Well, make sure you guys stay tuned for that. Make sure you are following. It's Free Thinkers Fireside, right, Helen? That's your channel. Yeah, it's right there. So check her out. As far as me, I'm always putting content about religion, debunking certain things in the Bible, sometimes sarcastic takes, all kinds of commentary about culty things, pop culture, etc. So check that out if you like. Love you guys. So thank you for being here today on Monday. We know you didn't have to be here, but you chose
Thank
to.
you guys.
Yes, please. And thank you for being here, Helen. Also, too, don't forget that Monday through Friday, this channel is live 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Monday through Friday. Today, obviously, is Java and Jugs, but Tuesday through Friday is Chris and myself, and sometimes Kelly taking calls. Yeah, it's a thing. Anyway, check that out. We'll see you soon, guys. Have a great day.
bye.
Bye.
Shift a hole.